Georgina had a plot of land, but her husband, who was already deceased, lost it due to debts, and the family was badly off.
We lived in a house which was rented, and it rained inside the house. The ceiling had holes so we could see the stars,
It was a little wooden house, right? And my mom would put some rags in the little holes to cover the hole to block the wind. It was all in shambles. The toilet was outside. She had been evangelical her whole life.
All of a sudden, the Holy Spirit gave me some light. I was sitting by the window on this side, and the Holy Spirit said, Go on and talk to Miss Clara."
Miss Clara was known in the neighborhood, and she knew of this old plot of land. Georgina, led by God, makes an unlikely offer.
"Do you know my plot?" "I know your plot. We'll trade our plots and we are quits. You give me a plot and you'll keep that plot of mine with a check and you'll pay up my husband's debts to him, to Mr. Henrique, and you keep the plot and give me another one for the glory of God." We closed the deal. She kept that plot there. She gave me another one. The plot wasn't mine anymore. Then I said, "Lord, I have my little plot here and I'll build myself a little hut." I looked up at the rafters, and I built a little hut. I'd take a plastic bag with a handsaw, nails, and a hammer. I'd leave the kids at daycare and I'd come here. And then I built the little hut. I put a roof. It was just a little room with just a sofa, stove, and the 3 kids. It was in 72. Then in 84, I thought, you know what? I'll build a better house. Because God, He owns the silver, the gold, He owns the lumber, He owns the earth. I will build a better house. Then I built a wooden house. There were snakes inside the house. Back then, I watched the Face Show.
And it was after that, when we really were steadfast in church.
I would always hear it in television. And then one day I called them about the sponsorship to help the show, forgot to bless the people as well. Because everyone needs it, right? Then I thought, you know what, Lord? I want a brickwork house. I'd say, Lord, open a door for me with a job. And He opened a door with a job for me. I worked as a cleaning lady, right? I had 2 jobs. I left for work at 8 o'clock. I worked at a house until 5, then from 5 to midnight, I worked at another house. After that, God started to bless me, and here's my house for the glory of God.
In all, there are 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a living room, and a kitchen. The brickwork house is finished building in 1997.
I have my utility room outside for the glory of God. It's well finished, very pretty.
My mom is living in a good house.
When I go to bed, sometimes I'm lying in bed and I thank God. I usually go outside and I keep looking at the roof and I say, Lord, only the power of God can do this. How could I have this house with so little money?
It was God who did that. Only God can make these wonders in our lives. My mom, she gets up, she says good morning in the family group, and she sends a Bible verse, right?
God is so good to us. God doesn't want us to be beggars. God supplies all of our needs. This house that God has given me is for His glory. I say, Lord, sleep with me, walk in my house, stay with me, Lord, right?